Okay, this is the first inning podcast with BX Bomber 2011 with Roger the Big Yankee fan, and we're back again. Say hello, Roger.
Hey, how are you doing, DX Bomber? Everything is going pretty good, and having a good day today.
That's great, man. So what's been going on, man?
Well, the Yankees have had a tough series against the Marlins. As we know, the Yankees played with the Marlins. The Yankees won 2-1 in the first game, and then had a rather bad game and lost 9-3 in the second game. But they have moved on to Baltimore, and they played the first two games have been very good. The Yankees won yesterday 7-5, and they won today 10-2, hitting 4 home runs. And they had two very good games, and the second game of the doubleheader is going on tonight.
Oh, that's right. Oh, matter of fact, I forgot, man. I have to do this. I've read I was just playing around and I was reading the rule book, right? And I gotta say to Jose Reyes, if you're out there in the universe, I have to say I'm so sorry for calling you a beehole and few names, and I have to say sorry for because he was actually doing his job because rule number 4.06, there is no fraternization before or after the game. So he, my friend, was doing the right thing by ignoring everybody. So I can't badmouth the guy because in the rule book it states that you can't talk to anybody before or after the game. Only after batting practice you have time to do that. But you know what?
I see.
Yeah, but you know what? There's really no rules about batting practice.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
that's kind of funny in a way, you know. But
Yeah.
what do you think about the unwritten rules of baseball?
Oh, well, there's certainly a number of them have gone away, unwritten rules of baseball, such as the neighborhood play at second base. It
Yeah.
used to be, it used to be where the second baseman, because fear of being taken out on the play, they used to be able to catch the ball near second base and not actually tag second base and just be in the neighborhood and throw to first base and get a double play because there was fear of the runner taking the second baseman or shortstop out. But now with instant replay and the rule to the letter, they have that tag second base, and that is one of the main things that has gone away is that the neighborhood second base play has been taken out. And yeah, there are a few of them. There's also the situation where the fielders will play behind the runners if one team has a large lead,
Mm.
and the team with the large lead will not be expected to swing 3-0 or will not be expected to try to steal bases and that kind of thing
Yes.
when the
Yeah.
lead is large.
Yeah. That makes sense because it turns into a gentleman's game, and it's always been a gentleman's game. You know.
Right, but then some people would argue, well, we won't try to score any more runs if you don't try to score any more runs and come back and get us. It
Yeah.
depends, but if the lead is 10-1 or something like that in the eighth inning, then they won't try to steal bases. But one thing that the players will never give up is that they will never give up an at bat. They are
Yeah.
always swinging to get a hit because it is that is their livelihood, getting hits, and they will never give up an at bat. But they will do things such as not try to steal bases or swing 3-0 or that kind of thing if they have a large lead over another team.
Yeah. You know. I was reading also too. In the rule book, I was reading about uniforms. You know how this weekend is the Players' Weekend,
Yes, it
and
is.
they get
Yes,
to
they're
wear
wearing
these
special uniforms.
they get to wear these special uniforms and stuff like that. Well, in the rule book, it states that you know how they have those insignias on the sleeve.
Yes.
and it says, well, this uniform that they're playing with, it has I want to thank you, and they could write something on it. Well,
I'm sorry, PX Bomber, you're breaking up quite a bit.
okay, so just I can hear you fine, but let me start over. There's an insignia on the sleeve there that they play with, and it has thank you for something, and they could write something on it. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
It's a big square thing.
yeah.
Well, in the rule book, it states that the pitcher doesn't have to play with that on. He can take that off. He's the only player that doesn't need to have that on. You know, so as a pitcher, I would have took that off because it looked like it
Oh,
was
yeah,
bothering. It looks like it was. The reason I say that it was because it looks like it was bothering CC a little bit. He kept going to that
yeah.
area or kept going to that sleeve there. You know?
Yeah, what's happening is they have on their sleeve, they're wearing a special patch, and they are representing a person that has had an effect in their life. You know, whether it's someone that was an ex-coach or someone that may have illness that they're supporting. So with the special uniforms, they're wearing a special patch on their sleeve that is, and then they have a person's name written on it that is
Right.
representing a person that they're trying to represent, whether it's a person that is suffering from an illness or a person that hasn't had an impact in the player's life and that kind of thing. So that's what they have with the special uniforms. In the second game of the doubleheader, they may not be wearing the special uniforms, so because that is a makeup game. That is a makeup game, the second game, so they may wear
Ah,
the regular uniforms for the second doubleheader game. I'm not sure, and then wear the special uniforms again tomorrow.
yeah. Technically, because of the rule book, it's really not a doubleheader. In reality,
Right.
it's a makeup game because technically in the rule book, for it to be a doubleheader, the second game has to be played 20 minutes after the first one, and tickets of admission have to be the same as the first game. That's a doubleheader
Right.
in the rule book, and so now that's what they do to not do that. They make it as a makeup game, right? So they can get more
Mm-hmm.
money, in the stands, you
Yes,
know.
it is a day-night doubleheader with separate admission. Is what it is as a makeup game.
Yeah,
So
so
that's
so they
what
got
it's
three.
nice to see.
Yeah, so they get 3 days out of that. You know, they get
Yeah, exactly,
3 days
exactly.
of
They get them.
merchandise selling. You know.
Yes, many years ago, many decades ago, they used to play a lot of doubleheaders. Back in the 1950s, every Sunday was usually a doubleheader for most teams, and they had a
Yeah,
lot of doubleheaders for bands. But that they do not get anymore. There's occasion there's the traditional doubleheader. You know, if there's a makeup committee, but for the most part, they have day night double headers with separate admissions at this point in time.
right. Plus in the rule book it states that umpires are the only ones that can determine if the game is playable on a double header. They can
I
give
see.
they're the only ones that can give the okay that determine that the field is good to play on. That's something else.
Right.
'Cause other than that, it's the home team that decides whether to play or not. You know?
Yeah.
And
Yes. Exactly.
on that note, whether to play or not from the home team, there is no rule that says what time do they have to postpone the game. There's no rule on that.
I see. I see. And well, what it is for official games, they have to play 4.5 innings, or the home team has to be ahead after the fifth inning to make it official game.
Right.
And that's where they do it there. And but yes, there's a lot of things in the rule book, no doubt about it. And I'm looking forward to the Yankees getting a win tonight. The starting pitchers for the Yankees tonight will be Sonny Gray, and Andrew Kashner is going to be pitching for the Orioles, who
There
has
we
been the
go.
best Oriole pitcher.
It's gonna be a battle of the bulge there. because
Yeah,
they're gonna be blasting Sonny Gray, and the Yankees are gonna be blasting that other guy too. You know?
yeah. Cashner has pitched well for the Orioles. He's been their best pitcher, basically. And I've also been impressed with some of the Oriole new players. For example, the one player, Cedric Mullins, looks like a very good player who's been playing center field for the Baltimore
Oh
Orioles.
yeah, that I
And
think that's the new guy, right? Because they pushed Jones to right field, and that's
right.
crazy,
And
man. That's crazy. That means a lot.
yes, he stole a home run from John Carlos Stanton today. John Carlos Stanton hit a massive blast to the 410-foot sign in center field, and Cedric Mullins, who is not a particularly tall player, leaped and put his glove over the wall and took back, stole a home run
Holy
away from
cow!
John Carlos Stanton, and that would have been John Carlos' 300th career. But the Yankees
Yeah.
did hit 4 home runs anyway today. They had Aaron Hicks hit one, Labor hit one, Brett Gardner hit one, and Andrew.
Well, I'll tell you one
And
thing.
the Yankees keep blasting a lot of home runs.
I'll tell you one thing. Big G will not hit a home run today because Yankees come back to the stadium tomorrow, and I will be at the game tomorrow to record John
Day after
Carlos.
tomorrow.
No, they come back Monday.
Yeah, Monday. Today is Saturday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm off a little bit. Well, anyway, I'll be there Monday. He's not gonna hit no home runs this whole weekend. Bottom line, today or
Okay.
tomorrow, because he's gonna come back Monday, and I will be there to record Big G's 300th home run for the vlog.
Wow.
So
that'll be great.
yeah, so he's not gonna hit nothing. So don't expect nothing from Big G. Just big hits and line drives and doubles. That's all you're gonna get from that guy today or tomorrow. So we gotta hold off on the bombs there. So
So what you have to do on Monday is every time he comes up to bat, you have to have your equipment running for his full
oh,
at-bat.
absolutely,
To get it.
absolutely.
You know?
I can't wait. And let's talk about this guy. I forget his name. The pitcher from Baltimore. His nickname is CC.
Oh yeah, that
I forgot his name, but they brought him into the game talking this and that. He's a good pitcher, blah, blah, blah. He never gave up a home run in the minor leagues or the major leagues. And this guy, Neil Walker, blasted his ass to deep center field.
Yeah, that's actually Cody Carroll. Cody Carroll
CC,
was
yeah.
the player that they traded. The Yankees had him as a prospect pitcher, and Cody Carroll was traded to the Orioles in order for the Yankees to get Zach Britton back. So that's the player that the Orioles got was Cody Carroll, and Cody Carroll did give up those home runs, and you know, he was a low-level minor leaguer, but he has a shot now with the Baltimore Orioles because they're bringing in so many young players now.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a great pitcher and everything, but that's the thing about baseball, man. You could throw that ball, man, as good as you can and as great as you can, but if that guy hits it, it just goes out the park, man. That's what's amazing about baseball. You know what I'm saying? It just happens. You know, and the funny part is that it always happens when they're talking about it, the announcers. You know that, right? And it was funny because I was watching it and they're saying, "Oh, he's a good pitcher. He ain't never give up no home run. He ain't in the minor leagues, major leagues, and there's so many games. Blah blah blah. Next pitch, crack, gone."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh crap!" That they tied the game.
That's the way it happens on occasions, many times, yeah. It certainly does seem to be that way. But also the Orioles have very good. And they have a guy at third base also named Nunez that looks like a decent player. And so they have some young players that are looking fairly decent.
Yeah.
And they got VR. And VR is on the Orioles now too, and he seems to be a fairly decent player. But the Orioles are really lacking in talent right now. They traded away so many of their players, and the poor Orioles have 92 losses now. And let's hope the Yankees can get a win tonight and take the first 3 games from the Orioles.
Yeah, man. We gotta talk about Buck Showalter too, man. Buck Showalter. How about that? How about those little bits and bits that he was putting those plays in the bunting there to score a run?
Yeah.
He got four. No. I think that was in the first inning. He was butting on CC, and you know they like to do that on CC all the time.
Oh yeah. They know he has trouble with the knee.
Yeah, so they've been trying to bunt on him, and they work too, man. They got man on, and they bunted him over, and then they bunted again, and they scored 2 runs out of that.
Yes, the Orioles have played the Yankees tough this year. You know, considering that the Orioles are just about the worst team in the major leagues this year, they have actually played the Yankees rather tough. The Yankees had a very strong victory this afternoon, 10-2. But the Orioles have played the Yankees tough. And when I first came up in April and we were together, the Orioles took what was it, 2 out of 3 from the Yankees in April, or 3 out of 4 from the Yankees that April series that I
Yeah,
was up when it was very cold. We were at that game. It was very cold that day, and the Orioles did end up winning that game. So they have played the Yankees tough this year.
yeah, that's right, man. And a lot of them fell to injury too, as well. You know,
Right.
yeah, their whole team is hurt as well. All they have left is Davis and Jones out of that whole
Yes.
squad. You know, just like us, pretty much. All we got left is Stanton, Gardner, and Hicks. That's it. That's our whole Yankee lineup. Everybody
Well,
else is from the yeah,
Andujar and Gleyber Torres and Neil Walker. You know, hey, let's give Shane Robinson some props today. He had a very good game. He had 2 hits and made a great catch in the outfield. So
yeah,
right fielder Shane Robinson had a good game today.
yeah. But the whole team is from AAA, pretty much, man.
Yeah,
Except the
yeah,
outfield. That's the only thing. The outfield is Major
right.
League, and the whole infield is AAA infield. Because
Well,
and Duhar came up late in the beginning of the season, and Torres and everybody else came late.
yes,
Nobody
yes,
really started the season. Everybody's hurt that
right.
started the season. Didi,
Yes,
everybody. you know,
yeah,
Dury,
yeah.
all these guys are gone.
Yeah,
Sanchez. Oh, matter of fact,
Brandon,
Sanchez. He played a game today in Florida. I wonder how that did. I don't know how it did. We got to find out.
He was over 3 today. He was over
Ah,
3. Yeah, he played DH and he was over 3. But I believe this is one of his first games back now, rehabbing. And Didi Gregorius is still having trouble with his heel. And but hopefully he'll be back soon. Didi Gregorius had that collision at first base and had some difficulty with his heel. But hopefully he'll be back soon, and we'll see what's going to happen with Judge. But I
but
see what you're saying, and the Yankees are playing a good series against the Orioles, though. But the Orioles are a very weak team, and tonight's game will begin tonight at 7:05 or 7:10. And
I want to say I understand why can't these guys play with injury, man?
oh well,
This morning, man, I was watching the highlights of I think it's 1989 World Series between the Dodgers and who's this guy when he hits the big home run
oh yeah,
for the
yeah, the
Dodgers.
Los Angeles,
He he came in with the
yes, yes.
bum knee, and everybody starts cheering. Yo, I think that's the greatest home run all time in Major League history, man. That home run.
Yeah, yeah,
It
that
was
was
an awesome home run, man. And he had the bum knee, and he
Gibson.
couldn't hit
That was
Gibson.
Gibson.
Yeah, man. And after that, they had a little interview with him and the pitcher, and they were speaking about that. And that's like 30 years later or something like that. They were talking about it,
Yeah,
and they
that was
have
the
no hard
19.
feelings against each other or nothing like that. I was like, whoa, man, that is heavy, man. And you know what? We will never see something like that because a guy gets a cut on his pinky, he's out for 10 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
You
how it
know,
seems. That's how it seems.
because
Yeah.
sometimes when you hurt, I've played baseball. Sometimes when you hurt, and you feeling hurt, like Tony Gwynn, let's say, it puts you into a different mode where you have to hit the ball a different way, and that puts you into a hitting streak. It's
Right.
been known for that to happen. With Mattingly getting hurt, he gets into a hitting streak because he's playing hurt.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why they don't do that anymore. Because if he's able to play, Sanchez, put him in the real game. Maybe he can't catch, but put him as DH. Get that eye back. Let him see major
Yeah.
league pitching. You know what I mean?
Yes, they just don't do it that way these days. They want them to play rehabilitation games in the minors for a while and get their timing back and see some live pitching.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying. If they're seeing live pitching in the minor leagues, they can see live pitching in the major leagues as well. But that's just the way that baseball is done today. They have players go down and play some rehabilitation games, rehab games, and before they bring them back up.
Yeah, I mean, I said, listen, man, don't take me off the team, man. I could run, I could hop. Don't worry about it. I'm here to the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe I could get a hit, but I'm in here, and that's it. Like the Jeter in 2014. Remember when he hurt his calf? Now, I, I
I'm
think it was.
sorry, you're breaking out quite a bit. We have bad reception today. I'm having trouble hearing you. Could you
I'm hearing you okay.
try to move to a spot where yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hearing you
I'm
okay.
having trouble hearing you.
So
Okay,
then it's probably on
okay,
your end. It's on your end. You're gonna have to move around there because it's on your end. I hear you good.
okay,
You
okay.
hear me good now?
Yes, I would.
You hear me?
No, you're breaking up quite a bit.
You're gonna have to move. Move to a different location.
Yeah, yeah. I'm outside now. I'm outside. I just moved over a bit, so
Okay, can you hear me
hopefully
now?
I'll get you better. Yes, I can hear you a lot better now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you remember in 2014 with the Jeter, right? When he hurt his calf?
Right.
I was there at that game when he hurt his calf. And I actually have
Yeah.
pictures of him when he was running down first base. And me and my dad was sitting in the front row actually when that happened. And then he had to go down for rehab and everything. And then that's when he was trying to chase for 3,000 hits and
Yeah.
everything. And then he got the home run. You know, he he
Yeah,
he
that was great.
he tried to warrior it, by coming back too early, and he hurt his calf again for the second time. And then when he came
Yeah.
back the second time, that's when he hit the 3,000 hit for a home run. But I was at the game when he hurt it the second time, man, and I knew Jeter was hurt. I knew it. I could see it in
Wow.
his face. Like Jeter won't trigger it. He won't let you know that he's hurt. But I could see that I see Jeter for so long that I knew he was hurt. The way he walked off the field, and Jeter never walks off the field. He jogs off the field. And Jeter got to he hustled to first base, and as soon as he hit first base, he started walking off the field. That's when I knew. I was like, oh, this guy's hurt. And he puts his head
Yeah.
down. And then when he's hurt, Jeter used to put his head down and then grab his helmet with one hand, with one finger. And then he goes into the dugout and straight all the way into the locker room. And that's what happened that
Right.
day. And then that's what happened, man. He was gone, and he goes to Florida. They go to Tampa. They have a vacation down there. They go on the beach. Then they come back whenever they want, right? That's how it used to be. But,
Yeah.
but now you have to treat certain guys that way because certain injuries are that crucial, but certain injuries aren't. You know what I mean? So it's up
Yeah.
to the team for them to, if they're gonna do that. But
Yeah. They really like them. When they're injured, they like them to get back into it slowly. And Mickey Mantle was a player that played with a lot of injuries back in the 50s and the 60s. And he had all kinds of injuries with his knee and with different parts of his body. And he was out of the lineup quite a bit. But Mickey Mantle was also a bit of a carouser, where he would go out after the game and party. And many people felt that if Mickey have had even a better career than what he actually did have.
Yeah.
Because, he and Whitey Ford and Billy Martin would go out and they would go to the pubs in New York City, and Mickey Mantle did quite a bit of drinking. And Mickey Mantle's alcoholism actually got worse after he retired. But then he was very courageous at the end of his life when he had a liver replacement, but the cancer had spread. And he talked to people and said, "Don't behave like me." And that I'm not really a role model. I've gotten sober now, but there's a lot of things in my life I could have done differently.
Yeah, that right there, what you just said, that always makes me cry, man. When he said that, man, that used to hurt me so much. But talking about Mickey Mantle, man, I read the book about Mickey Mantle. You got to read that. It came out, I think in '96. That book came out when he died or something like that. And in the book, he worked in the mines over there with his dad and everything. And anyway, speed forward. He hurt his knee on a drain in this first World Series in his rookie year. That was 1951. And the crazy part was that he was playing right field. He went to go get a ball, and he stepped on a drain. And Joe DiMaggio told him while he was on the floor, "You should have let it go because that was my fucking ball." You believe that?
Yeah.
Joe DiMaggio told him that. You know?
Joe DiMaggio was not particularly nice to Mickey Mantle when Mickey Mantle's rookie year. Joe
No.
DiMaggio spent the first several months not even speaking to Mickey Mantle. He lightened up a bit, later on. From what I understand, Joe DiMaggio, he sees this young kid coming up in the early 50s that's supposed to be replacing him. And Joe DiMaggio was suffering from a lot of injuries at that point in 1951, and he retired after that. But Joe DiMaggio was a very reserved player that was never seen off the ball field without a suit on. Joe DiMaggio was very dapper, and he was very reserved and somewhat elusive, and he was not known as warmest player going, Joe DiMaggio, and he was particularly nice to Mickey Mantle and Mickey Mantle's rookie year.
Yeah, that next season he comes back, and Casey Stengel states that even though Mickey Mantle at that time, they didn't know that it was a torn ACL, and you know what? And that wasn't the case. He didn't die because of alcoholism. When they done the autopsy of Mickey Mantle, he died of he had that stuff in his liver where it was from the mines.
Cancer.
No, it was from the mines.
Right.
It was like lead poisoning or something like that.
Yeah.
It was some. Yeah, it was in his liver, and it wasn't from drinking. Yeah, it was actually from something that was from his childhood that killed him later in life, man. So his death actually had nothing to do with alcohol. That's the sad part. And he thought that he died because he was an alcoholic. That's the sad part. And he was, yeah, I guess, to our standards, I guess. But that's not the reason why he died. You know what I mean?
Well, what ran in his family was a cancer called Hodgkin's.
Yeah.
And his father passed away very young of Hodgkin's. And his father, Mickey Mantle, was actually having a lot of trouble in his rookie season and got sent back to the minors. And Mickey Mantle was actually thinking of quitting baseball. And his father went to the minor league city where Mickey Mantle was playing at that time. And his father gave him a real talking to and said to him, I thought you were a man. You need to stick with this. If you don't stick with this, I'm going to bring you back and you're going to work in the mines with me. And he was rather hard on Mickey Mantle. And then Mickey Mantle came back and changed his number to 7, and the rest was history.
Yeah, man. Imagine playing with Mickey Mantle or just hanging out with him in the clubhouse. That'd have been awesome, man. You all talking and giggling and laughing, and then he go out and hit 3 home runs. You know,
Yes, exactly.
just because he does that. You know.
Yes. Mickey Mantle hit 536 career home runs, had an 18-year season, 18-year career. And as I said, that was the first game that I went to as a Yankee fan, as a little guy going into kindergarten. It was Mickey Mantle Day, and he was retiring, and they were giving him the plaque. And obviously, I remember the game more from the old film clips than from actually being there. You know, I was just a little guy, a little 5-year-old.
Yeah.
But that introduced me to the Yankees, and I've been a Yankee fan ever since.
I was gonna say, there was a story where he was where he was partying with Whitey Ford, and they went to the Copacabana. They had a rough night over there with Yogi Berra. They come to the game. They broke night. They played a night game, and then they went partying all night. Then they came back for the day game. They slept in the trainer's room, right? And then they were so blasted that Mickey Mantle was sleeping on Whitey Ford during the game. And
Wow.
Mickey wasn't playing, but then Casey Stengel asked him if he could bat, and he said he can't do it, and he said no, you're gonna do it, and he said Mickey Mantle said, but I see double. Then Casey Stengel tells him, well, hit the ball in the middle, and he went up there. He went up there and blasted a 2-run home run to win the game. Believe
Yeah,
that?
that is
Pinch hit
amazing.
home run out of being blasted like that. Yo, that guy's a
Yeah,
legendary, man.
it's a
Legendary.
much
You won't see that no more ever again.
yeah, it's a much different time today. That's for sure. A much different time today, and you know that was the deal. He also, you know, Babe Ruth was known as being a major carouser back in the 1920s. He would go to the ballpark and eat 7 hot dogs and have a pitcher of soda pop, and would then play in the game. It's very different now. I mean, the competition these days is so heavy duty that players have to train year round, and it is just heavy competition, and it's a very different time now.
Yeah, I have a great story about Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth. Um, there's a
Oh,
there's a story in one of those last years that they played together. Lou Gehrig wasn't feeling well this game, and he wanted to figure out how to stop the game or get out of the game somehow. So Babe Ruth was like, "No, I'll stop the game for you." What he did was he asked the kid to come over to him while Babe Ruth was playing, I guess center field or right field. He asked the kid to come run to him while he was on the field. Called the kid to come to him to give him an autograph. Once he did that, all the kids came to give it to for an autograph, and they had and check this out. They had to postpone the game because of all the kids on the field, and then they let
oh,
Lou Gehrig go home because the game was called because of so many kids and all that. And Babe Ruth,
oh,
yeah, and check this out. Babe Ruth was signed every kid an autograph until everybody got one. Then he went home.
wow, wow.
That was Babe Ruth.
Yeah, Babe Ruth loved kids. He loved kids. He was another one that was an imperfect person. You know, he had a lot of faults himself, and but he loved children, and obviously a legendary player himself. He died very young of throat cancer
Yeah.
at the age of 53. He was only 53 years old when he passed away of throat cancer in 1948, and obviously another legendary player. But the Yankees of today are now 34 games over 500, and that is their high water mark now. So they're doing quite well. And let's hope they can get the win tonight against the Orioles. And I hope they can sweep the Orioles, obviously. And I'll hope for you that Giancarlo Stanton gets some good hits, but saves his home run for Monday when you're at the game.
Absolutely, man. Because we gotta get that on video and document that one. That's gonna be awesome, man. He's gotta do it
Yeah,
at Yankee Stadium. Why not, right?
what you will do, yeah. If he didn't do it in Miami, then he should do it at Yankee Stadium. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
Miami would have been a nice place for him to hit it. You know, after playing so many years in Miami. But if he's not hitting, if he didn't hit it in Miami, then he'll hit it at Yankee Stadium. And what you'll have to do is you'll have to have your equipment on whenever he comes up to bat for the whole at bat, and hopefully catch it, and then do some editing and take out the at bats when he doesn't get a hit or something. So
Yeah, that's gonna be a long night for me.
Yeah, that'll be your assignment for Monday. That each at bat, you're going to have to try to capture it in order to hopefully get it. You know.
Yeah, man.
So that'll be pretty good.
And then I'll be at the game on Friday after that for Brett Gardner bobblehead day.
Yes, exactly. That'll be good too.
That's against Detroit.
And then I'll be up the middle of September. I'm coming up on September 12th, and then I'm at the games the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, 3 games in a row, and then my final game of the season will be the 19th against the Red Sox. And but you'll be lucky. You'll have first crack at the playoff game, so that'll be really good. And I won't unfortunately be able to get out for playoff games. I just won't be able to afford it. I'll have work in October and everything, but I'll be calling you when you're at the playoff games as well.
Well, if you get a chance to make a game, at least the World Series, man, you got to show up.
Yeah. You know, the whole thing is with the train and everything. The train is rather expensive and everything, so I can make a certain amount of trips per year, and I'm behind on some bills, so I probably won't be able to make it in October. So my final trip will be in September.
Well, if you can make it, there's going to be a World Series ticket with your name on it, if you can make it.
Wow, that'll be fantastic. Yeah, we'll see. We'll play it by ear, and we'll see how everything goes.
So, you know, try to save some money, because if the Yankees make it, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna have tickets. So
that'll be
you're
great.
More than welcome to go. Great. All you got to do is make the trip,
much.
Man. That's all you have to do is show up. You know?
Wow, that'll be fantastic. We'll see how everything goes. And the Yankees still have 6 games against the Red Sox, so we'll just have to let it play out, see how everything goes.
And they're 4.5 games above in the wild card too. And Boston, they play tonight at 6:00. They play now. They're gonna play right now at 6.
Right.
So let's see if they lose this game. Hopefully that'll be 7 games.
Yeah, and the Yankees have to have a good win tonight.
And if they win tonight, that'll be maybe they might come up to 6 games, right? If they win tonight,
they have a big lead over. Seattle at this point. Seattle has fallen quite a bit behind the Yankees. I think Seattle is about 8 or 9 out in the loss column to the Yankees now.
Yeah.
So the Yankees' chances of making the playoffs are almost 100%. It's just a matter of if they're playing the wild card or winning the division. It most likely looks like they'll be playing the wild card.
Yeah, it's still not guaranteed yet. It's still not guaranteed yet, you know, because they're still only 4.5 games above in the wild card, you know? So they got a lot of ways to go. There's still a whole month left. And that could diminish real fast or increase really slowly. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And they need all these guys to come back, man. They need everybody to come back. I don't know, man. They need guys to step up, because that guy Torres there, he can't handle no shortstop. You know.
He got eaten up by a ground ball today, but
he did last night too. Last night they bounced right off his arm. You know.
Yeah.
From all I've seen, Jeter is the only one that could take those ground balls. He's the only one that can handle them hard. He's the only one I've ever seen. The only one. Nobody could do it, man. Not even Didi, man, can handle them ground balls like that. Jeter used to get all of them.
Oh, yeah. Jeter is a legend, that's for sure.
And if it was a hit, it was a legit hit that got through, you know? But, yeah, man. You know one thing I want to point out, too, that why these guys is not catching the ball neither? None of them was wearing batting gloves with their glove.
Right.
You know that?
Right.
Did you notice that?
Could you say that again? I couldn't hear that.
The infield players and outfield players, they're not wearing batting gloves with their mitts, with their
Oh
glove.
yes, I've noticed that. Yes, I've noticed that.
You
Yeah,
know that
yeah.
that doesn't give you grip. You know that, right?
Right.
You lose grip like that because you know they're sweating. They're sweating in that
Yeah.
glove, and that glove. Trust me when I tell you that glove feels like like mush after a while, and you don't have no feeling on the ball. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I didn't wear a batting glove under my mitt when I was playing baseball. I only wore one batting glove when I was playing in baseball. Really, I just wore one on my bottom hand. And but that was so many years ago. I haven't played organized baseball in 36 years, before you were born even.
Wow.
And but yeah, I'm an old dude in my mid 50s, early 50s. So I made it to high school, but that was it. But yeah, that is something that they sometimes wear the batting gloves under their mitts now.
Yeah, because listen, the reason is why because when you wear the batting glove, it absorbs the
Hmm.
sweat. It absorbs the sweat. You see? So when
Right.
you put your hand in your glove, it gives you maximum grip all the time. You
Yeah.
understand? It gives you that feel. When you catch the ball, you catch it, bam, and you feel the ball. When you don't have a batting glove on and it's just bare hand and you're sweating and it's 100 degrees out there, you are not gonna feel that ball. And if the ball comes and it hits off your glove, it's gonna bang right off the glove. You're not gonna have enough strength in the glove to catch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
Yeah. I see what you mean.
yeah, that batting glove gives you a little bit extra security. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
man, that's a very important, man. I don't know, I don't see why they're not doing that, but it's
Yeah.
it's a shame.
Yeah.
But they're losing a lot of balls like that. You know, especially them
Right.
ground balls. They're losing a lot of ground balls like that too, man, which is not good. You know,
Yeah.
but
Yes, I.
yeah. So I guess we can end it there, right? I guess it was a
Okay,
good.
sounds good.
I guess it was a
We
good
talked about
podcast.
we talked about what's happening with the Yankees today, and we talked about some Yankees history. So it was a good podcast again.
Yeah, man. Definitely. So, if anybody lasted this long, make sure you keep the ball rolling and hit the like button and go on and watch the last videos and definitely share this video. You want to say anything before you go?
Oh well, I'll say that I always enjoy doing this with you, and it's always fun. And looking forward to doing the next one, which will be sometime midweek or so after you go to the game on Monday.
Yeah, definitely we could do one on Tuesday if you like. Or
Okay,
yeah,
sounds good.
Tuesday would be cool. We do one Tuesday. Uh,
Sounds good.
August the 28th. It's not bad. I could do it after work. I'll be home by hopefully home by 6 o'clock. We could do that and go live.
All right.
You know.
Excellent.
But yeah, man, it's always been a great podcast, man. This one we talked about the rule book and stuff like that, and Yankee injuries, like always.
Yes, exactly. Everything, and covered some Yankees history, and looking forward to doing the next one.
Absolutely, man. So everybody, we'll catch you on the next one, and see you on the next one. Bye bye. So
Take
long.
care. Bye bye.